Hey, book besties. Welcome to More Than a Book Club podcast. I'm your host, Leyna.
And I'm your other host, LJ. And today we are
talking about one of my new favorite books. This story might save your life. This is a book by Tiffany Crum. This is her debut novel. And I think she did an excellent job with this.
No, I didn't really know it was a debut when I read it, and I never would have guessed that.
And I read it initially as an arc. And then as we got ready for this podcast, I was like, okay, I probably need to reread it because it was kind of funny. LJ, you talk a lot about you read a book and it's a mystery and then you kind of forget
I do.
what it's about.
Like we reread they didn't reread it. I reread an Agatha Christie with book club. Was that 2 years ago?
Mhm.
And it had a different name because sometimes her books have different names in the UK versus here. And so I had already read it and I was like, oh, I think I remember the ending. I was totally wrong. So
And I did not remember the ending of this. I was like, I am just as surprised the second time as I am the first time.
Hey,
so
that's fun.
it made it nice because then it was like, what does happen?
Yeah, right.
And we are doing something different. We are recording together.
Hello.
This is our first episode we've recorded together.
Since like the
First episode?
Maybe the second too?
Maybe the second, because the second I think we did as our actual book club at a restaurant.
I believe so too.
So if y'all go back and listen to way back, you can see how we have changed.
Yes.
In a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully our audio is a little bit better. Hopefully,
I mean, I think so.
You won't hear my dog barking in the back.
But never know. Be really
you never know.
Fun.
In our first episode, she was squeaking a dog toy.
Mm-hmm. It's all good. It's all good.
But back to the story might save your life. This was just, I felt it reminded me of Gone Girl.
Me too.
Just the way that there was
not the same story.
Turns.
So if you
not
read
the same story.
So if you've read Gone Girl, don't think that we're saying that.
No, but it had some vibes.
It has some vibes.
Yeah, the vibes were heavy with it. Do you want to talk about what the story was about?
All right, so here we go, you guys. This Story Might Save Your Life by Tiffany Crum is a debut novel that blends a mystery and a romance, following podcast hosts Benny and Joy, whose lives unravel when Joy disappears, making Benny a suspect. The story alternates between Benny's investigation and Joy's past revealed through her memoir as they recount their survival stories, including Joy's narcolepsy, and explore their complex friendship and relationship with Joy's husband, Xander. It's described as a gripping, funny, and heartbreaking thriller for fans of true crime podcasts and domestic suspense.
And I think that pretty much
encapsulates
it. I thought it was really funny. There were so many parts, and I listened to the audio, and I don't know how it
so here's the
worked
deal.
For physical book.
I think it must have been better as an audio. Now, I gave it 4 stars. I liked it. But when I went into mark it as read, so many of the reviews said the audio is the way to go. This is one of the best audiobooks, all this stuff. And I'm like, well, you had told me.
Yeah.
But
if only you had listened.
If only I had listened. So I wish I had listened. So maybe someday I will
The audio is really funny, and it carries because it talks about them being on the podcast and it covers their stories and their banter back and forth. You feel the emotion in it and them just kind of being silly and funny. And I don't know if you would get that.
I don't think you get it as much from the physical page. I would say maybe a little bit, but less so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So recommendation, listen to it on audio if you've already bought the book, because it is an instant New York Times bestseller, USA Today.
Yeah.
The pre-orders on this book were super high, and that's instantaneously the day it debuted, she had already made the list. So I think that speaks volumes that people are interested in this. And it had I felt like a lot of marketing.
Yeah.
I kept seeing it places. And I do follow her on Instagram, and she has done a good job marketing as well.
That's good.
And she just seems like a nice person. That's cool. She's like an author that you would want to get to know.
Okay, I'm going to have to check her out. I just was Googling to see if it would say what awards or anything. I should have looked lists, but it says that this book was inspired by the podcast My Favorite Murder, which I know is a very popular podcast among the true crime community.
And I don't listen to a lot of I don't listen to a lot of true crime podcasts because I don't read it either. But I know that
I have. My favorite is Crime Junkie, and I hate to say that because They came back from their scandal. If you don't know their scandal, you can Google it and find it. But I do like theirs. I don't listen as much because I get more like audiobooks with the true crime. But I like theirs. I'll be honest, I didn't really like My Favorite Murder when I first listened to it because I jumped in the middle and they talk for 30 minutes at the beginning and then they finally get to the crime and I was like, but I don't know these people. And so that was kind of something we've talked about with, that's part of why we moved literary lately to its own episode, because it felt like it was taking up such a substantial part
of
of
our
specific episode
with a specific topic. Yeah.
But yeah, so it wasn't my favorite, but I think if you were from the beginning and you like knew who these people were, I never actually got to hear the part of the murder because I stopped listening before then. So I should give them another shot because I do know it's very popular.
And I know I listened to Serial.
Oh, I did listen to Serial.
The Adnan
Syed
story. And then the one after that about the guy who was in the military.
See, I didn't listen to that one.
And
then our
grew
friend,
up in a military family, so I thought it was
friend
interesting.
of the show,
yes,
Claire Sanama has a podcast. I just forgot the name of it. And they kind of talk about, now it's transitioned into like talking about like current things.
Yes.
What's going on, more real time. But she did a few seasons of different specific crimes. And then she now has a show called Killer Confessions on HBO Max. And it has a Texas Ranger sharing how he got different criminals to confess to murder.
And I haven't watched it yet.
It's really good. It's really good.
In This Story Might Save Your Life, the two main characters, Benny and Joy, they're best friends. They decide to do a podcast together. Benny has the idea, and Joy had never really listened to podcasts. So this was brand new for her. She had only listened to Serial. That was the only one that she had listened to. So I was like, hey, that's kind of how I started too.
Yeah.
So I felt in line with her.
Well, I think Serial was the first
for
podcast.
A lot of people.
Well, actually, I started with Crime Junkie, and then they mentioned, I don't remember. I don't know if I was already a Patreon member at that time, but I think I might have been. And they talked about, before listening to their episode, to go about Adnan Syed, to go listen to Serial because they covered different information. And so I did that. And so I was new to the podcast world, but
I think I listened to like This American Life and Radio Lab. So those were my two.
I gotcha.
But those are more like informative.
And then the podcast. I listened to the podcast because my cousin Leslie, hi Leslie, she listened to it and she was like, they were doing an episode on the royal wedding, and I believe this was Prince Harry's royal wedding.
Okay.
And she's like, LJ, it was so funny, you have to listen to it. So I did, and that got me addicted to that, but I haven't listened to them in a while.
Forever.
Yeah. I should get back on there. There's
podcasts. Podcasts are really fun. I think since we've started doing our podcast, I haven't listened to as many.
No, it's true.
Maybe it's just because I listen to us while I'm editing.
She does.
So
I listen in the car.
We do get that. What else do we want to talk about this?
Because I don't want to give anything.
I know. I'm like, there's so many good things.
This is really
like, it's difficult to talk about. I guess we could talk about Joy's narcolepsy.
Yes, that was very interesting.
Because I didn't know much about narcolepsy.
So I had a student with it, but it was narcolepsy caused by a medication they were on. And it was crazy because he would be sitting there and then all of a sudden asleep. And then like, I was like, to help him, this was not like meant to be anything to harm him. He said this would help him if he could stand up. So he stood up and I had like windows and he like kind of put his arm on the window ledge and I'd look over and he'd be asleep standing. But it was due to some medication that he was on. I'm not sure what he was being treated for, but that's the only experience I've had. I had no idea how complex it is.
And Joy and Benny meet actually because of her narcolepsy.
I know.
And it's revealed very early on, like I think in the first chapter, that she has narcolepsy and that they met at a concert where Joy had sat down and fallen asleep. And she kind of had her legs out and Benny trips over her.
Yeah.
And thinks that she's drunk.
And she's not.
And he thinks that she needs to be taken care of because she's clearly passed out drunk. And so he kind of stays with her and makes sure that she's safe. And then she's like, oh no, it's narcolepsy. It's fine. And then they become pretty much instant best friends.
They do. And like they even have, when they meet up like, is it the very next time
They meet it the next day.
that she asks, like, so what are we? And they kind of they kind of friend zone themselves.
Yes. And
And
they have reasons for it.
yes,
And I don't want to give it away because I
no,
think that is a thing.
it's integral in the
Um,
plot.
but they have good reasons and they decide that they're just going to be friends and
Yeah.
they become really good friends. They meet each other's families. It's almost like they're in a relationship, but they're not, like,
Yeah.
with none of the benefits.
Right.
But they have great chemistry, great banter.
Mm.
They're
They genuinely like spending time together and
Yes.
not in a romantic sense, like in a, like you said, like they have great banter. They're friends. And yeah.
And I think a lot of couples that you see on TV and movies and books, it is like this romantic thing.
Yeah.
And I felt like this had really good, strong friendship
Mhm.
vibes. They had friend zoned it from the very beginning. And it was
Yes.
like, this is what we are.
Like they set the boundary from the
And
start.
both
They
of
did not
them,
cross it.
yes, both of them stayed with it. But the story follows them over several years
Mhm.
as their lives evolve.
Yeah. It's like
Um,
7 or 8 years, I think.
I think so.
Because I think when her memoir starts out, it's like, I remember it being 7 years ago at some point, and then it like gets closer and
And it
closer.
does go back and forth. So you're following different timelines, but
Mhm.
I didn't feel like this was
It wasn't hard
to
to
follow.
it wasn't
And
hard
on
to
audio, it
follow.
wasn't hard to follow, which sometimes on audio,
That would
different
make
timelines
sense.
can be very difficult. But it would say like 7 years ago or 5 years
Mhm.
ago. So it would give you that clue that it was changing
Mhm.
timelines. And it's really from Benny's perspective. He is talking about he comes over to Joy's house and finds her missing.
Yeah.
And what has happened? They're supposed to record a podcast episode.
Mhm.
And
She's
where
not
is
there.
she?
And neither is her husband.
Neither is her husband,
They
and
don't
the dog is gone.
the dog is gone. They don't even realize that at first
Yes.
until he returns by himself.
Yes. And so then they're like, what has happened? Joy's story starts off with a memoir that she's writing. And it is basically the story of them.
Yeah, because they're
And
supposed to write one together where they have their different perspectives along the years leading to like the creation of the podcast and everything. So we get her side
Yes.
through that.
From the past.
Mhm.
And then we're getting Benny's perspective from current times.
Yes.
And as their stories converge, you learn more secrets,
Mhm.
more things come out, and
Yeah.
it's more of like, oh my God moments. I felt like Tiffany Crumb did a fantastic job of revealing things slowly.
I agree.
And I think you said there was a couple red herrings.
There were some red herrings that if you don't catch it at the end, you'll be like, oh, that was a red herring. And it was good. They were good red herrings.
Yes.
One thing I really liked, the chapters were relatively short. And each chapter, she did a good job of kind of leaving you on a cliffhanger to where you didn't want to stop reading. And so when it was flipping back and forth, like I'm like, oh, I got to hurry up and get to the next chapter and finish that so I can get back to this.
Mhm.
But then that chapter, you also were waiting from the
Yes.
previous one. So it really moves quickly because from the beginning, like I think she does
It's
a really
very
good job
bingeable,
of like
very bingeable.
making you want to just keep reading.
Mhm.
Because she like hints, like she foreshadows, but you
Yes.
don't know what she's foreshadowing. So
And there are so many. I mean, the narcolepsy for Joy is a major plot
Yes,
point. Like,
it is.
it is important to the story that she has narcolepsy and that she struggles with this. And it's something that she becomes kind of not independent, but dependent
Mhm.
because she can't drive. She has to rely on other people to
Mhm.
basically make sure she's safe because she could fall asleep literally anywhere.
Yeah.
So she needs someone to make sure that she's in a safe place,
Mhm.
that she isn't getting too stressed out because stress can
trigger it.
trigger the narcolepsy.
Well, and something else you need to know that I didn't know about narcolepsy is that it can cause hallucinations.
Yes.
And I'm online with it. It says vivid, often frightening visual or sensory experiences. Some hypnagogic when falling asleep, hypnopomic when waking. I don't know what those words mean, but um
I know that they did talk about she had trouble getting good sleep too.
Yes.
So at night she would go to sleep, but it wouldn't be restful sleep.
Mhm.
So she was getting a quantity of sleep. And
Mhm.
she was even talking about when she first got diagnosed in high school, she had to be able, she could make it through the first 4 hours of the day, 4 periods, 5 periods, and
Mhm.
then she would need to go take a nap in the
Yes.
nurse's room. and then she could make it through the rest of the day and then go home, immediately take a nap. And she was talking about she needed to take like 3 naps a day plus getting a good night's sleep. And I thought about that as a teenager, how rough that must have been, because you want to go and hang out with your friends. You want to go and be normal.
Right.
And that's a time whenever being normal is very important.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
you see that as a high school teacher, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
To have that kind of taken away from you. And there's some funny moments where she talks about trying to drive and doing some of these things that I don't want to give away the funny moments either.
No. But yeah, it is, there's stuff. And I mean, and that is something too, where when you think about it, like I'm a type 1 diabetic. I don't even think about that. Like, it's not something that I think to introduce myself to. I mean, not that you would have to say that when you're introduced, but at some point, usually I remember when there's some sort of incident that's going on or about to happen where I'm like, so I'm a type 1 diabetic. I'm going to need to eat some candy. So I'm really sorry. I'm going to have to get this out. And it's thankfully my students all know, but I always feel bad when I pull something out. I'm like, I'm sorry, I have a little bit, I can't share this with you, you know, but I don't think to do that. But then I do know, like, probably for some people that something like this, it's like, well, that sounds like that's going to be a burden on me to support you through that. And so I can see how that might be something that prevents people maybe from being friends. Like if your friend
having stable
like if your poor friend can't drive, like
has epilepsy
and you have
I was thinking about that the other day because we hired a new guy at work and it's just been me and him the last couple of days. Our bosses were gone. And I was like, I don't know if he knows that I have epilepsy. I was like, he got hired the day I had a seizure. Like that was his first day on the job. And I had a seizure that night at home.
Editing the podcast.
But I don't know if he knows that. But my husband drops me off at work and drives me home and comes and picks me up every day.
Maybe he thinks your husband's very controlling.
My thought was, does he think I'm an alcoholic and got like a DUI or something? That's always my first thought.
Okay, because my thought was like he's thinking, but again, that's a woman perspective, that it's a controlling husband making sure you can't escape. I don't know. Or maybe that's all the thrillers and true crime I watch and read. That might be it.
I mean, you were speaking about being a burden, and just with the 3 months, I say that 3 months out of the year that I can't drive, because whenever I have a seizure, it's 3 months, 90 days in the state of Texas that you can't drive. And it's been the last 4 years that I've had a seizure. So then that means my husband has to do all the driving. So it can feel like a burden. And then hanging out with friends.
Yeah, like, but we don't mind.
We're like, hey, LJ, come pick me up.
I don't mind.
Let's go do something.
Let's go to the alcohol store.
Yes, we went to the alcohol store today.
We sure did. So, and you can hear all about that if you go to our Patreon and get our March episode.
Yes.
Our bonus episode.
Shout out to Chris and Ashley, who are our first 2 Patreon members. We're very appreciative of you two. And we also
technically I am one too.
Yes.
I joined Patreon. So
I joined as a free.
So like third
free member.
Third member.
Yes. So LJ is also a supporter of the podcast. I'm a free member, so I support it.
Okay, but we don't make any money, you guys. So she's supporting it a lot in other ways.
Yes. So we don't. Just so you know, it costs money to do a podcast.
Yeah, it does.
Like this is
the most.
This is a fun hobby, but it's also
we're not making money.
It's also a money pit. So every little bit helps if you guys want to.
And you get stuff at the free level too. So
yes, you get stuff at the free level. We're doing a reading guide on This Story Might Save Your Life. So that will have all the characters, their names, kind of who they are, a description. It'll have some trivia questions. It'll have a menu idea of things that you can eat if you're doing a book club, or if you just want to get the full experience of the book. What else will it have? It'll have some games that you can play. We played It's Dicey last episode.
Which is one of the games. I'm just going to scroll and show y'all just to give you an idea. Okay, these are all of my notes. And then reading it. These are just mine.
I have my own notes.
Yeah.
And we take extensive notes and we summarize everything, like major plot points and sometimes minor plot points, because we're both perfectionist tendencies, I think.
I'm wordy. I am not good at like writing a short essay.
Yes. I am the person that whenever I would write grants for work, I would write everything out and then I would hand it off to someone else and be like, cut all the things.
Yeah.
Let's make it shorter. So we're both a little verbose.
We're verbose.
But that's okay.
It is okay.
It works out in your favor. So if you are going for a book club for this, that would work out.
You don't have to remember what happened. And when we later are like, hey, what happened in that book?
We can go right back to our reading guide. So that is something that's available for both the friend level, which is $3 a month, and
the best friend level?
Wait, the supporter level, which is $3 a month, and the friend level, which is $5 a month. So that's a thing that you can have. If you're not interested in that, that's okay.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
We also, just like to talk about books. And this is a book that I think that once you read it, you'll
like
want to talk to someone about it, because you'll be like, oh my gosh, go read this and find out all the twists and turns.
I agree.
The ending was very satisfying for me.
Such a satisfying ending. And you really, because like as you progress and like you kind of, there's resolution, but you still don't have all the information.
Because it could go in a couple of different ways.
Yeah.
And you're like,
so we're not like, what happened.
Yes.
You don't know how it happened. And then when you get that, it's not what I would have guessed.
No.
It's not what I would have guessed at all. But it is very satisfying. Definitely.
And like we said earlier, it does cover several years of their lives. It covers marriage for both characters. They both get married. And how their relationship changes once they're married. Because
that does change.
If your best friend, like even if you're same sex and you have a best friend, well, hopefully you have a best friend.
Yeah.
But whenever you have a best friend and you get married, that relationship changes, because
of course
the marital relationship becomes almost not more important, but it is
meant to be a higher priority than a friendship. And that's not to discount the friendship by any means, but it's just like hopefully you're friends with your spouse too.
Yes. But whenever you have a relationship
with someone of the opposite sex. So if I have a best friend that's a man, that has to change.
It will have, I think that would just breed some jealousy within the relationship.
Yeah.
Same thing if a woman had a man.
Right. And that's something that
it's talked about in this book. It talks about how their relationship changes.
Well, and I would encourage, not going into great detail of my marriage. That was one of the things for the longest time. We had an agreement that he was not going to become close with another woman and I was not going to become close with another man. Now, we work with people and that was different. And as long as there was a mutual respect, but it was certain conversation topics. I'm not going to talk about marital issues with a male coworker or something, even though they're a friend, and that's something I still want to take into account because I think that can cause a lot of problems. And especially I think with younger ones, because then I just think about I think of how I am with my friends and I would feel like, well, I need you, but you have a wife now? You're the one that takes care of me and helps me with all my, I could see how I would be that way.
Yes.
And I can see how if that were my husband, I would be like, no, he's my husband.
So I can definitely see where it would cause some issues.
And we see that. The adjustment of
I think that is part of what makes this book unique, is because you do see some of those changes and then also the changes in the main characters.
Yes.
Based on their spouses
and their seasons of life.
Yes.
And I think it's very honest in that.
Yes.
And it addresses it. It doesn't ignore it. It doesn't make light of it. And
friendships change. That's a very real thing. And as relationship statuses change, as if you have kids, if you don't have kids,
if you have a fight or you have something major happen and you can't be in each other's lives for a while, but then you come back again and are friends again. And, like you
what
said,
that all looks like
in your different seasons and you have different things going on. And the reality is, even if they're your best friend, they're not necessarily privy to everything. You're not going to be privy to everything in their marriage.
Yes.
Whether I'm not privy to everything in Leyna's marriage. I'm not married, so she's privy to everything. But but anyway, you know what I'm saying? They shouldn't be anyway. It shouldn't.
And I think in any marriage, you're going to want to protect your spouse.
Yes.
Any relationship, you
absolutely.
want others to see your person in the best light.
Absolutely.
But there's also, we talk about
Oh yeah, we talk about
partners
things.
and
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
problems come up.
Of
I think
course.
that's normal. But there are certain things that I'm going to keep closed.
Yeah.
And LJ will keep closed. And the characters in the story.
Although I'm not very good at not oversharing. I'm just gonna be real. But I can see that because I'm not in a relationship right now. So I'm not oversharing about anyone.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. Yes. Anyway.
And as well as Joy and Benny, our main characters, we also meet Xander, who is Joy's husband,
Yes.
and Luna, who is Benny's wife. And then we also meet a couple of other characters, some side characters
that are really good.
Joy's neighbor,
Carlotta.
Two neighbors, they're partners.
There's Carlotta, who used to be a judge, and she's retired, and
she has leukemia.
She has leukemia for the second time in 5 years, and she's obsessed with plants and
gardening
and all that stuff. And then she's with like kind of this gangster looking guy, Emil, who owns like a gym or something, or he's a fitness trainer.
He was a
he used to be
not a crash test dummy.
He used to be a stunt double, or stuntman in Hollywood. And so such an odd pairing.
But they both
that's all we can say.
I can't say anything else.
Say anything else. And then we have Sarah, Benny's sister,
who becomes more involved.
She does, as the story goes. Then we have, before we get in, let's see who else. Luna is Benny's wife. Then we have Mallory, which is Xander's sister, and her wife Quinn. Thank you.
And really, you're following Benny and Joy.
Yeah.
Like, this is their story. And they are the main characters, and that's who you're really learning about.
Because you're following what happened in their past and how we're trying to find Joy and Xander, who have disappeared.
And they have created this podcast, and I thought this was such a fun idea. This story might save your life, and it's basically one person will give, like, here's a scenario that you're out paddleboarding and you get sucked up by a humpback whale.
Yes.
This is one of their things that they do.
This is one of their things, yeah.
How are you going to get out of it? And so the other person has to give all of the answers of, like, here's what I would do.
Yes.
And give scenarios. Sometimes they're silly.
Yeah. And I think these are based on things that have happened.
Yes.
Because at the end, the other one reveals how the other person actually got out of it. But then there's like funny things. Well, is my best friend there? And then one of them, like, Joy always has a sword.
Yes.
Like, can I have a sword? And so that's in there. And so they do that. And I think it is a really fun idea. Also, side note, there's a lot of Happy Days stuff in here.
Hey.
Yes. Like, they love the fawns. They have a brass duck that they rub for good luck named the Fawns. Then their dogs are Potsy and Richie. And it's really cute.
There's a lot of references, and it was just really fun. I don't think I ever really watched that much Happy Days because I was like, I don't remember Potsy. I'm sure it was a big character.
He was cute with dark hair and like blue eyes. Very pretty.
It made me want to go watch Happy Days.
No, it's okay. So I watched it mostly in the summers when I was at my great grandmother's house, and she had rabbit ears. And so it was the channel that came in the clearest in this area. Had a lot. Like, I watched Happy Days. I watched like Chips and stuff like
Chips.
that. I'm trying to think what else was there, but I remember Happy Days being on, and I loved the opening Sunday, Monday, Happy Days, and I'd be dancing around with it. But yeah, it's cute. It's fun. It's crazy to think that Ron Howard, who was this huge star in that, is like one of the greatest directors of all time.
And what's his name? Arthur Fonzarelli.
Fonzarelli. Oh,
he's just a funny actor.
He really is.
He's aged well.
He has aged well.
But yeah, so there's a lot of fun references. I'm trying to think what else to talk about that doesn't give anything away.
I know this is really hard, you guys.
Whenever it's a mystery or it's a book that I really want you guys to read, I don't want to
tell you
anything away because I want you guys to experience it first.
Same.
So I hope that you will go give this book a read. It's one that I would very highly recommend. Like I said, I got you to get it. And then I got our other friend Emily to get it. And I think my sister got it as well. She got it from Book of the Month. And if you have Book of the Month, it was one of the books that was offered for March.
I had still not canceled.
Have you canceled it?
I have canceled now.
Okay.
I've canceled now. So I got it from there and I did cancel, and they keep sending me emails 3 more days till for you to be able to come back and still be a BFF. And I'm like, no.
It's so hard. That was my thing this year was I'm like, I'm going to listen or read Kindle Unlimited books because I'm paying for Kindle Unlimited. I'm like, I better do it. But I canceled my Book of the Month 2 years ago because I
thought I did a year ago.
I wasn't reading my books. Like I was just collecting them. So
that's also part of why
now they have
canceled.
audiobooks.
I know, but I
was like, I already have Audible. I get a lot from my library too.
You do. And I get some from the library as well. So,
and I'm sure that this is a book that is going to have a long library hold. But
let me go look at my library. Actually, we'll do that on the phone.
That'll be quick.
What's our library, the McKinney Library. I can't get on Libby. I'm somehow locked out of my Plano account. But let's look at Cloud Library. Now watch, this will be, sometimes though, popular books, it's like no one realized they're popular. And then you get
just
lucky.
Because this one had such a big debut.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be one that's going to be popular.
Okay. The book itself says available in 7 months and the audiobook in 1 year. Yeah. Here's what the cover looks like in case you haven't seen it.
And on her Instagram, she showed that there's several different covers depending on where you live. So different, like I think the UK version is a different cover.
That's fun.
So for our UK listeners, I know there are some.
That's so fun. Hi.
You will have.
Oh, well, I know one of them.
I was like, it's your friend.
It's definitely Shannon. Oh my gosh. I'm like, of course I'm an idiot. Sorry, Shannon. Which I will get to see Shannon at the end of May. Woohoo!
And we're going to get to see our friend Chris Weller.
Also in May.
In May as well. So that's going to be exciting. I don't know. I think I might be all out for this book.
I am all out for this book too. And that's okay because
y'all need to read it and then come comment on this
post. Yeah.
On this post. And just be like, here are my thoughts because we want to hear them and we want to hear how you like it.
Yeah.
It's something that I think I wish that we had a little bit more engagement with that, just to hear how you like it, whether it's on Apple or Spotify.
And we're not offended if you disagree with us.
Yes.
What is my favorite quote that you say?
Not every book is for every person. Not every person is for every book.
No.
No?
I'm pretty sure it's not every book.
Every book is not for
everybody. There's some, hang on a second.
Now we're going to have to listen to past episodes to find out what the saying is that I say all the time.
Yeah, every book is not for everybody, but every book is for somebody. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's something like that. I think it was more eloquent than that.
The gist is you're not going to like every book.
No.
But we're
not offended. We didn't write the book.
We didn't write the book.
We just read it.
We just read it.
And talked about it.
We have no connection to Tiffany Crumb.
No.
Although
we like her.
This was her debut. I can't wait to see what she comes out with next.
But for real, like we still want you to tell us, even if you're like, y'all are wrong, this book sucks. Tell us. We're not
I tell LJ that Stephen King sucks all the time.
She does. And I love Stephen King. I love him so much.
Because I don't like it, but there is an audience for Stephen King. Clearly there's an audience for Stephen King.
There's clearly an audience for Stephen King. So there you go. All right. I guess that's all.
That's all for today, folks.
Yeah.
I hope that you guys all have fun reading it. Yeah. And we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to More Than a Book Club podcast. We are recorded and produced in McKinney, Texas.
Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and follow us on Instagram and TikTok.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.